I watched Biker Mice from Mars Episode 1, Rock and Ride. Here's what happens. Throttle, Moto, and Vinny, the Biker Mice from Mars, are cruising through space. And Vinny is bragging about how good he is at racing when he is overcome by intrusive thoughts and smacks Throttle a little too hard, in my opinion. I love how Moto opens a can of soda here by just ripping the entire top off it. The mice are attacked by a Plutarchian ship. The ship is crashing towards Earth, so the mice get on their bikes, and there's an awesome music cue that just references 2001: A Space Odyssey when they see their bikes for the first time in the show. Just really illustrates how important these bikes are. I mean, they're biker mice. It's integral to their identity. And here we learn the mission statement of the biker mice.
There's only 3 things you can count on. Your brains, your bros, and your bike.
Is this the greatest show ever made? We're going to find out. The ship crashes into Chicago's Quigley Field, not Wrigley Field.
Quigley Field?
And it must be like a copyright thing or something, because there's a few of these instances throughout the show. Like the team playing, they're called the Chicago Nubs. And later on the radio, the DJ's like, next, Guns and Noses.
Rock and roll from Guns and Noses.
Luckily, our heroes ride off their ship right before impact. The biker mice drive out of the stadium, stopping a mugging on their way. Throttle realizes there's something wrong with his bike, so they go to the Last Chance garage. Inside the garage, we meet Grease Pit, voiced by Brad Garrett.
And who's gonna make me, wrench face?
He tries to pressure Charlie into selling the garage. Luckily, the mice roll up and 86 that Mama Jama. And Mama Jama is one of the main catchphrases of the show, and I'm just in love with that. That's a great catchphrase.
I'm the baddest motorcycle mama jamma in the universe.
And this guy, Grease Pit, he lives up to his name. He is impossibly greasy. It's like his skin is creating the grease because he is just unlimitedly greasy. Later, the villain makes him stand in a bucket because the dude just makes too much of a mess from just existing. The mice explain to their new friend Charlie that they are biker mice and they are from Mars. And Moto has the great line,
You were expecting turtles, maybe?
Throttle uses his little antenna things to project mental images into Charlie's brain, explaining their backstory. So basically, the Plutarchians bought up Mars and they dug up the land and shipped it back to Plutar, which is their planet. And it is not Pluto, it's Plutar. On Mars, there was a mice resistance, but most of them were wiped out. Moto gave his arm to the cause, but now he has a totally awesome robot arm, so that's pretty cool. Charlie says, well, that's crazy because it seems like the exact same thing is happening here in Chicago. Could it be the Plutarchians? Yep. The Plutarchians are here, led by Lawrence Limburger disguised as a human. Grease Pit tells him that the biker mice are here on Earth, so Limburger gets Dr. Carbuncle to build a trap. Grease Pit kidnaps Charlie to use for bait, but the mice easily destroy the trap and save Charlie. And since the trap failed, Dr. Carbuncle builds a robot to exterminate the mice. And this robot is called the Exterminator. And it is somebody doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Hasta la vista, rodents.
Okay, it's confirmed this is the best show ever. That is so sick. So our heroes go to confront Limburger and they drive their motorcycles right up the side of his building. Limburger's like, arm the cannons or something. Then these turrets that are mounted on the side of the building come out and they don't have any swivels on them or anything. So it's like really the only use you would have for these is to shoot down at somebody climbing up the building. And it's like, how often is that happening that is a necessary thing to install in your building? The mice unmask Limburger for the Plutarchian he is, and that's when the Exterminator shows up. After a chase sequence, the Exterminator ends up driving his motorcycle into a vat of boiling something and meets the exact same fate as the real Terminator. This is awesome.
I'll be back.
With a good day's work of killing the Exterminator behind them, the mice decide to live in the scoreboard at Quigley Field until they can fix their ship. That's episode 1. This was amazing. I'm so glad I saw this one. Thanks to all the Mama Jamas out there who kept shouting out this show on my last video. Follow to find out what happens in episode 2. Bye.